Hey there, nerds. Jimmy Palmquist here with Brandon and James. And we're doing sort of a follow-up to our Tron discussion. We got Brandon around this time. We got several comments on our videos, both good and bad. A lot of Jared Leto hate. That was not surprising, to be honest. Yeah,
Glad I'm not alone.
somebody called Brandon Ted Cruz, which was hilarious. Then we also
Hold on. What was the context for that?
I don't even remember. They're like, well, how did Ted Cruz get on the video? And I'm like, I don't look
Do
like
I
Ted
look
Cruz.
like Ted? That's the most
James
offensive
doesn't look
shit
like
I've
Ted
ever heard
Cruz.
in
I'm
my
like,
life.
Brandon doesn't, but he looks the
He was a
closest.
good person.
Yikes.
Fuck you, dude. Hey, whoever
That's
you are,
hurtful, man.
that wasn't cool, man. That was fucked up. Like, I know I didn't say anything that sounded like him.
That was fucked up. But to anybody not Brandon, that was pretty fucking funny. Thank you. Anywho. So we wanted to revisit Tron, and Brandon recently rewatched Tron Legacy, and we just love talking Tron. So if you don't like it, tune out right now. We're talking Tron.
Which I have other videos.
How do you not like Tron? Like, what is wrong with you fundamentally if you don't like Tron?
That's kind of where I'm at after rewatch. I rewatched Tron and then did Tron Legacy yesterday, which was first time I've seen it in a while, but I forgot how much I just love both of those movies. I'm probably going to watch Uprising before Ares comes out because that was also a great series if you have never seen it. But man,
about Uprising is like I love the Clone Wars and Star Wars, but I am never going to rewatch that whole thing because it's tedious. I wish there was more Uprising, but because there's not, you can just finish it really quick. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's such a good movie, and I really thought they did a good job of making a sequel to that because I mean, really, Tron by itself is not the easiest watch. If you are not nerd inclined, my wife watched Legacy with me. I put on the first Tron, and I remember she just glanced and was like, this is not going to be my thing. And which is, I respect that. I respect that with whoever can't get through that movie. That's fine. But man, I didn't realize how watching the trailer for Ares and then rewatching Legacy, it really does look like a solid continuation, even if we're not getting some of the same actors involved.
I'm stoked for more Tron. We actually got one of our comments was, I don't think anything past Tron exists. And I'm like, this isn't like the prequels versus the originals. There's one movie and you're saying only that movie exists. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So,
but yeah, you only have two movies.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not accurate. But I really think for a sequel, especially, what was that, 30 years later, I think it holds up. The fact that Jeff Bridges is like one of my favorites. Like, I often forget how many awesome, goofy movies he's done. Right. And like that aren't the serious, I'm going to get an Academy Award or the Big Lebowski. It's like he was the first Marvel villain in the MCU. I fucking love his
built this in a cave.
But for him to come back and then to come back again for Ares, I have no idea what his role is going to be, but he came back. That's awesome. I love Tron. I love all of Tron. I've not played all the video games, but as far as I know, I've read all the comic books. I've read or watched all the movies and all the animation. So I love Tron. There's not enough Tron in this world for me.
Maybe we'll get a somehow Palpatine returned with Clue.
Well, I mean, that was going to be my question. Is at the end of Legacy, he kind of takes out Clue and then possibly himself, but then in the trailer you hear Jeff Bridges talking. So is that Clue? Is that
Kevin that's the Flynn? Genius of Tron is it's almost like Terminator. There's no one timeline because it always gets messed up with whatever they're doing in the timelines.
Yeah.
With Tron, it's a different program or a different grid every time, or it could be a different grid. Like James and I have exhaustively talked about this in an awesome way. And you have Kevin Flynn's grid in the first and actually only in the second one. Because the first one is Master Controls, basically, which is Dillinger. Then in the third one, you could have Dillinger having another grid. It was funny. I sort of was like pouting and be like, God, I wish Cillian Murphy was in this. I really wish he'd come back.
Right?
But then I thought, oh my God, the age difference. No, it makes sense that I can't remember who's playing Dillinger. It's Evan Peters. Is that who it is?
Is that who it is?
Yeah. And it's like, well, that does kind of make sense that now the grandson might be doing the shit that the grandfather had done, and Cillian Murphy's character is just kind of in between. I'm
In
like, oh,
between.
shit, this is getting old. We're getting old. But yeah, I'm just stoked at the idea. I love that they're coming into the real world. It makes me nervous because I have vibes of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where Freddy came out in the real world and it sucked balls. But I love how they did it so far.
Manhattan?
He was already in the real world. Freddy is in nightmares, man. So he's not supposed to be in the real world. When he's in the real world, he has to fuck shit up, man. Come on.
Is the real world not a nightmare? Whoa.
God, he gave
That's why he keeps saying, Freddy, those memes with Freddy.
Emo.
Keep on dreaming, kids. It's like, oh shit.
So, okay. With Ares, though, like I said, we don't know which Jeff Bridges is speaking to us, because
you make it sound like he's the Green Goblin.
Well, no, I mean it's he's got because correct me if I'm wrong too. At the beginning of the first Tron, Clue gets destroyed, right?
Yes, but he rewrites Clue several times.
That's what he does. He rewrites it.
That's including like the comic books and the video games and whatnot.
Marvel is re-releasing a small volume of the comics.
That's they're hard to find.
Well, it said it's going to be the original adaptation book and then something that was done with Legacy. So it's just a small volume coming out, but I've already pre-ordered that because I cannot wait to reread it.
The early adaptations were great, but then they told, obviously those are adaptations, so you don't necessarily need them for the movie. But then there were, I think it was 3 or 4 comic books, very limited series that were released before Legacy came out that gave information that was in Legacy that I'm like, why didn't you explain that at all? So
I think that's what's being re-released. I think that's what's being
hard to find.
That's awesome.
You can buy them.
Not to mention we have the video games, which expand the universe of the grid, which is always amazing to have. I know Evolution was really good, and it explained the events right before Legacy. I know there's 2 games on modern consoles that one of them is text-based click and point. The other one, it's like top-down isometric, and they explain stories of the grid. But I don't know how you can't like any of Tron, because like genuinely every part of it is awesome.
And it's funny because Disney now owns Marvel, but they spent a lot of money for it. Disney owns Star Wars, Lucasfilm. They spent a lot of money for it. They made Tron. They own Tron. There's no money other than making whatever for Tron. And the fact that they don't, like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, Ares could be the turning point in this. If this does well, we could see this be like a another money making franchise from them.
I would love that because it's awesome to me that Tron failed in theaters, and then Disney on their early streaming, the Disney Channel, which wasn't streaming, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to allude that I had streaming in the 80s, but it was a special cable channel called Disney. Well, they didn't have a lot of content. They would run their cartoons and all that, but they would run Tron like nonstop. So as a kid, I was like, oh my God, I get to see Tron again. It was awesome. Which now leads me to believe that not a lot of people have the Disney Channel because not a lot of people know what Tron is. So I guess I was unique in that. But
I mean, I will say by the time I was in middle school, high school with the Disney Channel, Tron was not getting a lot of replay.
No.
So.
Well, they had other ideas at that point. But that brings up a good point. The number of people I have introduced to Tron is ridiculous, meaning they had no clue this existed. So I had to describe it and tell them and get them to watch it. And then invariably, before Legacy came out, it was like, oh my God, that was amazing. After Legacy came out, it was like, that first one's hard to watch, but Legacy's amazing. And it's like, okay, I get it. So much so that even a friend named their kid Flynn, and
that's fucking dope.
So that's how much they loved the movie.
And it's
I mean,
introducing it to my generation. We did a video a little while back where I brought up that we double featured Tron and Tron Legacy with a group of my college friends. And it's interesting having a bunch of kids my age sit down and watch the 82 classic, because there were times we laughed a little too hard at some things. I mean, you gotta admit the master control design at the very end is goofy. We saw it and we all died laughing.
Whatever, dude.
But
I mean,
I
that's
also thoroughly enjoyed it because it was
I
something
feel
that
like you didn't watch enough of the late 70s, early 80s sci-fi that was awful. Or like Brandon has pointed out with what's the Frankenstein movie you like? Why can't I think of this?
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, where they repurpose the sets. And
Yeah.
in that sense, it's awesome. But in most sense, it's like we were just talking about this in the other segment, Fantastic Four, the Roger Corman version. They repurposed those sets from other things. Like they just found something in the closet and brought it out. Like, oh my God, what is that supposed to be? So when you see Tron, you're like, that is genius design work. Thank you. And now, kids, this era is like, why don't you just CG something in there, man? Why'd you have that foam?
to admit some of it does look a little goofy.
Not for 1982.
That's
I will tell you, watching Legacy, when he says, he references like the date, and I'm like, I thought that movie came out way later. No, 82. I am more impressed by that movie, realizing how old it is.
And people forget that they may not know. They think a lot of that colorization and stuff is CG. No, there is like one CG scene in there, and it's when those bugs pop up on the grid.
That's animated. It's the light bikes that are CG.
No,
Yeah.
no,
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 the grid
no,
bug- the grid
no,
bug was animated.
no.
Yeah, the grid bug was animated.
No. Regardless, it was all hand painted in South Korea. So it was shot with monotone colors in South Korea. This is why some of the colors are messed up as far as who's the hero and who's the bad guy, as far as red, orange, blue. There's even a little hint of green at one point because they hadn't quite figured out the colors yet, and they're already colorizing it in South Korea.
No. I want to go back to the grid bug. The grid bug was 2D animated.
I think Jimmy said no.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? All right, we'll go back to the special editions of Darth Vader and or Luke. No.
Okay, then what? No, the grid bug, the little green
No.
animated.
What?
The grid bug itself was 2D animated. Are you talking about like the sail thing?
Yes.
Oh, that was CG.
Well, I'm talking about, to me, both of those. I thought they were both CG. I knew the sail thing, but I thought the bugs were too.
No, the bug was a 2D animated thing.
Well, we've learned a lot here in the last couple of minutes.
I know the light cycles weren't, so you suck. No.
No, I swear the light cycles, or was that 3D animation?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Oh, I'm bit now. Do it again.
no.
No.
You suck, son.
My lawyer has advised me to not finish this joke.
Now.
Anyways,
Yes.
something else I thought was interesting about what we're about to see with Ares 2 is that like Tron still exists, and I can't imagine, like you talking about like different grids and stuff. I can't imagine this not dealing with Kevin Flynn directly, because you have to figure Tron is going to show back up at some point.
Well, that's a good point because I'm going off of what we know so far. Kevin describes he brought Flynn over from the old grid. Clue was new because it was his, but he brought
Tron over, yeah.
And so we saw Tron not die, not survive, and the grid got wiped out. So we have no idea what happened to Tron. There's been no information that Bruce Boxleitner is returning for this movie, which, guys, come on, man, please. Or even Sam Flynn, guys, come on, please. Or Cora, guys, come on, please. So I'm really hoping that they address this. I can't fathom how they can't have the name Tron addressed in Tron.
Huh.
But weird. I've seen dumber things in my life.
Character that is.
I've seen dumber things.
Not to mention, it's like they set up the Greek god naming, and that you had Zeus. It wasn't spelled the same, but you had Zeus in Legacy. And so it's like there's precedent to also have that character show back up or have some sort of importance.
is it a weird thing that I don't really care if the character shows up, but I want that actor? I love him. Like, dude, I don't care what he does on the grid. Just have him in there.
We have David Tennant along with him too, so they can.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
That'd actually be awesome.
Yes.
Is that your bit? No. Yes. It's your bit. It just said yes. No. How did you make a bit live?
I think
Come on. It'd be brilliant.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, I know.
This.
God forbid and have hobbies.
We even gave him his own segment, and he's still like going off the rails. Like, Christ, dude.
Have you learned nothing from me?
Obviously not.
Yeah, like come on, you got to know by now.
I'm the
I know you're
definition of
signing up for it.
insane. I keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Same result.
And you see, you do the same thing. You dealt with me for years, and then now your son's a part of it, who just holds that position that I used to hold. But now that
Sorry,
I'm
guys,
older,
this has now become an apology video. I am sorry for being the dumbest nerd on the planet and making you guys experience this level of frustration that I do. And not
for
only
generations, we
And
are a
this is
generational frustration.
me failing math, because not only did I just go, hey, Brandon, let's do this again. I went to the double power and now I did it again. It's like, oh, although you could argue from a science standpoint that I just diffused the amount of frustration by bringing Brandon in, and now Brandon gets to experience the frustration as well.
But I will tell you, there are a lot of things that James and I do agree upon, and
It's madness.
but we have some things we disagree upon. But there are plenty of times that I'm like, no, I think he's making sense, and you're like, why did I do this?
Yeah. It's like,
But anyways,
for punishment.
back
Yeah,
to
anyway.
Tron.
James, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep talking. What?
Anyways,
for that bird.
if I haven't said that enough.
I mean, it's funny you talk about just wanting to introduce people to Tron, because I will never, anytime I talk about Tron and nobody knows what I'm talking about, it just goes right back to that Simpsons joke.
Oh, and it's funny because there's like, obviously the number of people who understand that Simpsons joke has grown, but it's still hilarious because it's such an oddball
relevant
reference. People have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You would see Tron?
No.
No, yes.
Yes.
No,
I mean, no. Yes. I mean, no.
That's the
And
best.
it's so perfect because I don't remember what year that came out, but I think it was the 90s. And then you have the CG Homer Simpson come out at the end, and that's like a creepy ass thing to see. So now that Tron's coming into the real world, right where Homer was, you could argue that the Simpsons called the future again.
Simpsons did it.
We have to recreate that bit when we go to see Tron in theaters.
That would be good.
Simpsons did it. Just middle of the theater.
Exactly. Simpsons did it first. They were inaccurate about Trump, but they called
Simpsons
Trump.
did it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I was gonna say, let us know what you guys think about all of this Tron news. This is also the most I've ever said the word Tron in a sitting before. But I'm excited because you know what? We're probably gonna have more stuff to talk about in the next couple months. So we are now a Tron fan account. Welcome to Nerd Alert.
Exactly. And if you're the one dude who's like, oh, I only believe the first Tron existed, just ignore us because I don't understand your rationale that Tron exists. That's the silliest thing
A
I've ever heard.
single Tron.
Yeah, and go watch Tron if you haven't, please. It's so good.
And if you're watching this video and you've never seen Tron and you're going, what is Tron? Kudos to you for sticking through this whole video.
Yeah, I know. There's no reason you should have made it this far. I'm sorry.
Why are these guys talking about a dude named Tron? Huh?
I want someone's gonna call him Tron.
There was a Crom. There was a Crom in the original Tron.
All right. Well, there we are.
Tron, sick.